It's good stuff, and I'm looking forward to everyone's questions, because as real estate investors, you have your own perspective on the things that you really want and need from the tools that support you in your business. We understand that, and hopefully we have everything that you could ever want or need. But for those things that we don't have, then we're interested to hear feedback and yeah, keep improving on the product we have. So welcome everyone who's here, and I'm sure we're going to have more people joining us soon. My name is Ryan Sprague. I'm the CMO of REI Automated, and we're joined by Keith Gillespie, the CEO of REI Automated. And today we're going to be sharing about our CRM, which was actually mostly developed by Brandon Buller, who is not here, who is the other co-founder of REI Automated, and he does all kinds of other stuff there on the technical stuff. And yeah, but I think you're ready to go, Keith?
I sure am. I just have to Zoom update it, and I'm still learning where all the new stuff is. But yeah, I am
Good.
ready. If you don't mind, as people come in, I will request that you let them in so that I can kind of just talk. So as we usually do REI secrets over about a 45 minute time span. Today, we're probably going to run about 60. Admittedly, I'm going to go as fast as I absolutely can. But 60 minutes, I'll try not to go a minute longer than that unless there's a lot of questions. I'll talk for about 30 minutes about REI Automated CRM. I'll show you a 10-minute video of what the CRM looks like, what it includes, how it functions, that sort of thing. And then I'll open up the floor for questions. If you're good at math, then you'll see that that leaves us with about a 5-minute buffer. So let's discuss rules of engagement. If you have a question, y'all know that I'm a really big fan of people raising their hands. In today's presentation, if you have a question, don't raise your hand. Write it down and ask it at the end. I'm going to go through, I'm going to try to do it without interruption because I really am trying to cram about 90 minutes of material into a 60-minute window. So I'm going to go really fast. If I'm going too fast, try your best to keep up, but otherwise, too bad, so sad. The call is being recorded, and so if you need to watch it again at a slower pace, just let us know. We'll hook you up and give you a link to the video. Can I get a thumbs up from the 3 people who have their videos on? Everybody else has their videos off. All right. So I'm going to start off this presentation with a pretty unconventional start. Thanks, George. I appreciate you, man. We're going to get this presentation started with a little bit of an unconventional start. On the slide I'm about to show you, I want to open us up with a fairly popular quote in the coaching industry. I'd like you to read this quote. I'll give you 30 seconds or so to read it over, and it'll set the frame for our call. So in summary, I like dealing with people that are easy to deal with. Our ideal client, I'd like to kind of paint the picture here. Somebody who's really just a high quality person, has a great heart, who's low maintenance to service, somebody who's okay with us making money on the things that we've built, somebody who right now in their business, they're struggling to follow up with their leads, somebody who has little to no automation in their business, somebody who's struggling to organize their workday, and somebody who's bringing in at least 20 leads per month. Any questions so far? Trick question. Don't ask your questions until the end. There's no questions until the end. We'll get there. Make sure you're writing them down, though. That's just your friendly reminder. All right. So REI Automated, it can be broken down really simple into 5 stages. Number 1, a brand new lead. Number 2, a lead that's communicative and has responded. Number 3, completing a triage call. Number 4, completing a perfect presentation. And number 5, a property that's under contract. REI Automated is really, the CRM is founded around 2 rules and 1 commitment. Rule number 1 is I only talk to people who want to talk to me. Rule number 2 is if someone takes the time to contact me, I will take the time to contact them. And our commitment is every day I will reach out to every person who has attempted to contact me. So with our sales funnel here, can everybody see my cursor like pretty decently? All right. Zoom used to have this cool little feature where I could put a red bubble or an orange bubble around my cursor, but I'd like to just move it around. You all see that? All right, wonderful. So what this means, as leads are coming down, they're flowing through your sales funnel, there's going to be instances where they fall out of the funnel, either because they're unmotivated or because they're unqualified. And when this happens, you should not be manually following up with these leads, because it's going to be taking a time. Your time is going away from income producing activities like engaging with leads that are currently in your sales funnel or doing deals that are already in our pipeline. And so as that happens, instead, we're going to pass these unqualified or unmotivated leads over to automated Keith or over to automated George, automated Kyoko to take care of. And so we do this through recording ringless voicemails, sending customized texts with autofill, our name, our company's name, their name, 123 Main Street for the property address, so on and so forth, as well as emails. And so just as an example, if a new lead drops in and they respond, maybe they respond, but then they don't really get back to us. That's fine. We put them over here into our automated nurture sequence. When they're ready, when they're motivated again, when it's fresh and hot on their mind, then they're going to come back into our sales funnel when they respond. When they respond, now we're going to take care of them. So in preparation to kind of share a little bit more about that, I want to set the framework for how our CRM can help you. And we're going to be talking about some KPIs. For anybody who's new, KPI just stands for key performance indicators. These are the numbers that drive our business. I love KPIs. I'm fairly well known for speaking at masterminds for a quote that I said several years ago. But to give credit where credit is due, I'm actually not the one who said it. It was originally said to me by my mentor 5 years ago. I was really struggling and I've just added on to it. But 5 years ago, my mentor said, Keith, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And I've added on to that. If you don't have any numbers, then you don't have a business. And if you don't have a business, you just have a really expensive hobby. Does anybody feel like they have a really expensive hobby? Am I resonating with some folks? Maybe. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to give you a broad overview here of all the KPIs that our CRM tracks and how to improve each one. So I call this optimizing leads to deeds. You have a lead come in, we're going to convert that lead to a lead connection. And from a lead connection to a triage call, from a triage call to a qualified triage call, from a qualified triage call to a perfect presentation, from a perfect presentation to a contract, and from a contract to an acquisition. Therefore, leads to deeds. The two KPIs that we're really going to focus on today is our lead connection rate and our triage call rate. Our CRM helps with all of these KPIs, helps push all of them to convert. But for the sake of time, I'm only going to highlight these top two because we're at the top of the funnel and therefore it's going to make the biggest difference on the funnel as a whole. First, we're going to go into leads to lead connections, which we call our lead connection rate. All right, there's two factors that our CRM is going to add to your business that will improve your lead connection rate. Number one is initial automated messages, and number two is automated follow-up sequences. I want you to imagine that a lead fills out a form right now. Right after that form is submitted, we're going to send a ringless voicemail from your business line. If you don't know what a ringless voicemail is, it's not going to ring your phone. You're going to automatically have a missed call, and that voicemail is going to be left. And that voicemail is going to sound something like this. You can customize your ringless voicemail. Mine's a little bit different than what I have written here, but it's going to sound like this. Hey, this is Keith Gillespie calling from Crown Properties. I'm calling to let you know that I just received that form you submitted on my website about the house that you're looking to sell. I was just calling to ask some real basic questions to see if we would be a good fit to buy that property. Since I missed you, though, if you don't mind giving me a call back, I sure would appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless. 1 minute later, so 3 minutes after a form is submitted, we send out this text message. It says, hi, their name. We just received your request for selling your property at 123 Main Street. Now it's going to just say 123 Main Street, not city, state, and zip, because nobody texts that, right? So just city, state, just 123 Main Street. Is that right? And it's going to have your name and your company name after that. 1 minute later, we'll send this one. It says, quick question. Are there any major repairs needed on the home? Now, we buy properties in all conditions, but just want to make sure that we're being fair to you. Thanks. Now, you'll notice that whether they responded to the first message or not, the message still makes sense. And our third message that goes 2 minutes after this, a third message goes out. If we can come, Ryan, can you keep up on muting people going here? Thank you. 2 minutes after this, so 6 minutes after 5.5, actually, after a form is submitted, we send them this third text message. Hey, if we can come to an agreement with price and terms, you choose whichever closing date is convenient for you. How soon are you looking to sell? Now, once again, notice that regardless of how or even if they responded, this line of questioning still makes sense. Yes? There's two main reasons why we send out these messages and the ringless voicemail. It's twofold. Number one, when a lead comes in on the nights or the weekends, we want to reach out to this person and make them feel that like we have just dropped everything to take care of them. Right? We got to them quite literally within 2 or 3 minutes. We're engaging with them from the time that they filled out the form. That is amazing customer service, and you're going to build rapport with them. Secondly, it stops them in their tracks from going to other people's websites and filling out other people's forms, because it gets them to engage with us rather than creating more competition for us. All right. This is what those messages look like in our CRM. This person said that they're the executor of the estate. They're looking to sell within the next couple of weeks. They're not always that good. Sometimes people don't even respond, actually. Or sometimes they're not really our avatar, like this person who's just looking for a valuation of their home. Now, so the orange where it says out, those are our text messages going out. And in the green where it says in, that's the incoming lead. Now, could this person be a good lead? They said, I was just trying to get an idea of the value of our home. Could it be a good lead? It depends, right? Maybe they're looking to refinance their home. Not a good lead if that's the case. Or maybe they're looking to sell their home and they want to make sure that they can sell it for more than what the mortgage is because they inherited it, right? So it really depends on why. Other people are highly compliant. They respond back. This person verified that they're the seller and says, hey, I'm available for a phone call. Give me a call. Here's 2 other examples. Again, these text messages are just here to help you get in contact with more people. It doesn't actually help the quality of the leads, but sometimes these folks, they're just looking for quotes, like the top person. And sometimes they're definitely a seller, like the bottom person. These initial messages just speed up the process for you, help you determine who's the most urgent lead at the time. All right. This person responded within 1 minute. You'll see here 15:21, so 3:21 p.m. and 15:22 within actually 59 seconds. They responded. We were able to hop on a call with this person within 5 minutes. We had them triaged and their mortgage statement in hand within 45 minutes of them submitting the form. Here's another example of somebody who was highly responsive. Within 30 seconds, actually, you'll see here, lead came in 7:43 and 27 seconds and 7:43, 55 seconds. They were already engaging with us. We put this property under contract the very same day, and we will be closing on it, hopefully, later this month. So these initial automated messages, absolutely wonderful. Now I'll briefly go into our automated follow-up sequences. So this is a huge mind map. It's absolutely massive. It contains a lot of data. You are not supposed to be able to read the whole thing or see the whole thing because I had to zoom out quite a bit to fit it all in one screenshot. But what I do want to direct your attention to is whenever there's an orange cell next to a red cell, that's an automated follow-up sequence. So in a typical real estate investing company, there's 10 opportunities for a lead to fall out of the sales funnel. And when it does, it needs to be taken care of by an automated follow-up sequence. Now, when that lead responds, then they'll fall back into your sales funnel. And remember your commitment, how we talked about the 2 rules in the commitment. Now it's your commitment to get back to them personally within 24 hours. So just to show you that example, the lead comes in and you pitch them, you quote unquote give them your offer, then they ghost you. They never respond. Well, let automated Nick, let automated Alan take care of that person. And then when they're motivated again, they're going to pop back into your funnel. All right, we've gone over initial messages. We've gone over automated follow-up sequences. Those are the two things that drive lead connection rate. Now we're going to move into converting those connections into triage calls, which we call your triage call rate. There's three main drivers to optimizing your triage call rate: speed to lead, crazy ex-girlfriend, and big checks. I'm going to go over what each of these are in a little bit, but these are all on you. Meaning the CRM doesn't do this for you. But what it does do is it tracks your progress. And what gets tracked gets improved. And these are three metrics that serve you well when they get improved. Let's talk about speed to lead first. What is speed to lead? Speed to lead is the time that it takes to respond to a qualified prospect from the moment they become an inbound lead. How long does it take for you to call them from the time that they submitted that form? I want to talk about Harvard Business Review. A couple of years ago, they did an amazing study. 2,241 US companies were measured to see how long it took each to respond to a web-generated test lead. They said firms that tried to contact potential customers within an hour of receiving a query were nearly 7 times as likely to qualify the lead, which we define as having a meaningful conversation with a key decision maker, i.e. a triage call. We would see that as a triage call. So within an hour of receiving a query, we're nearly 7 times as likely to triage the seller as those that tried to contact the customer even 1 hour later, and more than 60 times as likely as companies that waited 24 hours or longer. This is very important. I'd like to share my own stats. As you can see in my company, Crown Properties, our median speed to lead is 3 minutes. And year to date, that has enabled us to get in touch with 100% of our PPC leads. Now, this sounds sexy, but admittedly, it's not sustainable, at least not for a long period of time, right? We're roughly 100 days or so into the year. So let's look at all of our leads over a larger period of time, not just PPC, all of the leads that we generated. That first section is all of last year, from January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. As you can see here, across all of our leads last year, we were able to contact 88%. And so far this year, we're at 91%. And these are very typical results. And speed to lead is the biggest factor that we found. Next up, crazy ex-girlfriend. I've gotten some hate when I write this in a blog or something because people are like, you're a misogynist. I don't even know what the word misogynist means, but they'll call me all sorts of nasty stuff. What is crazy ex-girlfriend? Crazy ex-girlfriend is a series of 3 calls in a row, followed by leaving a voicemail and a text message. So multi-dialing. I just have a cooler name for it. What does it look like? Call. If they don't answer, hang up. Call again. If they don't answer, hang up. Call again. If they don't answer, then leave a voicemail and send them a quick text message. Then wait 30 minutes. Call, hang up, call again. If they don't answer, leave a voicemail, send them a quick text message. You're done for that day. Day 2 comes. Call. If they don't answer, hang up. Call. If they don't answer, hang up. Call. If they don't answer, leave a voicemail. Send a quick text message. Do that the next day for 7 days. Now, why do we do this? Y'all already know. Spam calls and robodials are absolutely rampant. This stat shows that 67% of people are unlikely to pick up a phone call from a number that they don't recognize. But what if it called 2 times back to back? What if it was 3 times back to back? I want you to ask yourself this question. Is anybody here married or have children? Let me ask you a question. If you had somebody call you 808-736-6110, you're like, I don't know that number. What are you going to do? You're going to slide red. You're going to put your phone. Imagine somebody calls you right now. We're in this meeting. What are you going to do? I don't know that number. Slide red. You're going to put your phone back down, face down on the table. Don't bother me. I'm in a meeting. Keith is cool. I like what he has to say. 10 seconds later, bzzz, your phone goes off. You look at it again. You say, I'll be darned. I think this is the same person that just called me 10 seconds ago. Half of you are going to pick up on the second ring. The other half of you, stubborn pricks, it's me too though, you're not going to pick up on the second call. What are you going to do? You're going to probably log the last 4 digits. 6110. Got it. 6110. And you're going to slide red. You're going to take your phone. You're going to set it face down. 10 seconds later, bzzz, phone goes up. Dadgum, it's the same person. 6110, it's the same person. They called me 3 times in a row. You all have a wife or a husband or a child, you're probably going to pick up. Because who knows? Maybe your spouse's phone is dead and they're on the side of the road. Maybe somebody has your child because they're lost. When people call 3 times, it's something important. Let's talk about the stats. The first call has about a 48% chance of picking up. The third call has an 81% chance of picking up. The 6th call has a 93% chance of picking up. But let's back up a little bit to the 5th call. Look at this 5th call. What number does that look like? Around 90%, right? Maybe I don't know, 88, maybe 91. Why am I saying those numbers? Because it's statistically proven. Last year, 88% lead connection rate. This year, 91% lead connection rate. Follow this. Our data over years of tracking proves this to be true. So I'm here to tell you time and time again, we see people who are not willing to pick up on the first ring, but they will on the 2nd or the 3rd. That's crazy ex-girlfriend. Next, let's go into big checks. It's our 3rd big factor. Big checks. What's a big check? Well, in this example, we have a hierarchy of leads for a lead manager. You see that we have 4 views. Baby lead. This is a brand new lead. We have respond to seller, which means that somebody has called us, they've texted us, or they've emailed us, and they're waiting to hear back. And we have interested follow-up, and we have discovery. Now, there's 10 people in baby lead view. There's 8 people in our respond to seller view. There's nobody in interested follow-up, and there's 1 person in discovery. And you should handle them in that order, by the way, top to bottom. That's why it's called a hierarchy of leads, top to bottom. Now, you'll notice that there's a little check next to this interested follow-up. That's because there's nobody in that view. So you get a little check. To get a little check, you just need to clear out the view. So what do you need to do to get a big check? Well, clear out everybody in baby lead view, you get a little check here. Clear out everybody in respond to seller view, you get a little check here. Interested follow-up's already taken care of. Take care of this person in discovery. You have little check, little check, little check, little check. Turns into a big check. What's a big check look like? It looks like you being the awesomest person today. So when you get that last person taken care of, the image in that funnel, the hierarchy of leads, that image actually goes away and gets replaced with this image. And this basically means that you can take the rest of the day off because you've taken care of all the leads in your funnel. I originally came up with the idea of big checks in July of 2021. You can see here, July of 2021, I had 28 leads came in that month, and I had 0 completed triage calls. That's when I had the idea of big checks. Now, when I began to implement it in July, I wasn't consistent with it. And I wasn't consistent in August or September, but by October, which is the following quarter, right, Q2 to Q3, I had increased my triage call to 35% by implementing some big checks. Take us 9 months later, we had gotten much better at getting big checks regularly. And when I reviewed Q2, our triage call rate had increased to 58%. And by the following year, July, we triaged 100% of the leads that came into our pipeline. So quite literally in 1 year, from July 2021 to July of 2022, I turned my business around by implementing big checks. We went from a triage call rate of 0% all the way up to a triage call rate of 100%. So again, these 3 metrics, speed to lead, crazy ex-girlfriend, and big checks, are the main drivers to optimizing your triage call rate. Again, the system is not going to do this for you, but it will show you where you're at. And it's a tool that you can use to hold yourself accountable as well as your people. If you have a lead manager, an acquisition manager, a partner, an employee, you can now hold other people accountable to taking care of leads and being a good steward of the money that you're putting into marketing. What has this done for me in my business? Well, it turned a job that used to take 8 to 9 hours a day into very simple, manageable tasks that now require just over 1 hour per day at our current lead volume. It allows me to go on vacation for 3 to 4 weeks at a time, and I only work 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and still make a full-time income. It stops sellers in their tracks from moving on to somebody else's website after filling out our form. And it's allowed me to connect with more than 90% of our leads in all time. Now, little disclaimer here. If you are going to get badass results, you have to be a badass person. So individual results may vary. These are my own results, and my testimony is not a claim to represent typical results. Lifestyle by design, though, is very important to me. And so if you and your lead manager want to only be talking with communicative sellers, it's going to help you with that. It's going to help you and your acquisition manager spend more time locking up deals. The automation that's built into the system is going to follow up with leads for you and completely eliminate the need for a follow-up manager. And ultimately, it's going to allow you, the business owner, the freedom to be effective as a solopreneur or a one-man show, or to scale a very lean company as large as you'd like. Let's talk about what's included. You're going to get our Podio build out for our CRM. Concierge service, you could consider it, will move all of the leads from any system that you have other than paper, as long as it's digital. We'll move it over for you into your CRM. We'll give you mind maps to visually illustrate the process, like the mind map that I shared with you earlier. We have an integrated dialer. The dialer is built in to the CRM. We have an integrated Google Drive property folder management, as well as all of our how-to training videos. You'll also get access to our dynamic call script and our dynamic perfect presentation. What is that? That means it's a call script that as the conversation changes, the script changes with it. It is dynamic. It flows with the conversation with the seller, both the triage call and the perfect presentation. You'll get Google Drive integrated into each lead where your deal analyzer will be housed. You'll get access to our automated purchase and sales agreement, as well as our advanced KPI tracker. And of course, regular updates. Now, what's not included? I want to be very clear with this. We are not customizing your crap. This is a system that works. It works really well. Please give us your suggestions. I am always open to suggestions. Just understand there's absolutely zero guarantee that we're going to get to it. And even if we do get to it, it's going to be in a backlog of 14,000 other things that I want to do to the CRM, because in all seriousness, it's only about 40% of the way where I want it to actually be. It's going to be very cool. Ryan's like, oh crap, I didn't know that. He's helping build out the other 60%. So just to be really clear, we're not going to customize it for you. That's going to be you. If you want any customizations done to it, you're welcome to customize it. I think at this point, you're probably wanting to see what the CRM looks like and not just listen to me yap or words on the page. So I shot a 10-minute video going through what comes with the REI Automated CRM. Hey guys, wanted to shoot a brief video here, hopefully maybe 5 minutes or so, going over our CRM. It's going to be pretty in-depth, but I'm only going to stay on the seller leads. You'll notice that there's actually a lot of different apps that are open. Not open, but available. So we've got hierarchy of leads, seller lead sheets, acquisition scripts, so on and so forth. There is a ton of stuff here, but admittedly, most of it operates in the background. You're not actually going to be there, or you're going to get to those apps through Homebase, and Homebase is our seller leads app. So just wanted to show you, I brought up a lead here. Her name is Barbara. And I want to walk you through Barbara's seller lead and just kind of show off what is our CRM capable of, what does it look like, that sort of thing. If I wanted to call Barbara, I would simply click on her phone number. And because smartphone, I have smartphone up here. Let's make sure that I'm logged out. Great, I'm logged out. So if I were to click on this and be logged into smartphone, then it would begin dialing Barbara. Super easy and helpful. If I wanted to send her an email, then I could click on this. Same thing is going to pop open an email. Next, these black boxes. If you know me at all, you know that I hate scrolling. And so these black boxes just scroll me around on on the page here. So rather than scrolling all the way down here to the calls, or scrolling down to the quick text messages, or scrolling down to the Google Drive, You can just put it on one of these black boxes. That's all it is. Next, here's our call script. So here's our dynamic call scripts. If I wanted to submit a triage call, then I would click on the call script here with my name. And here's my call script. And it's going to automatically populate all of the seller's information, the property ARV, the address, and everything like this. And then all I have to do really is read. Hey, Barbara, this is Keith Gillespie. I'm calling you about the form that you just filled out on our website and wanted to sell your property at 926 Holly Street in Fort Smith. Do you have 20 minutes or so to talk about the property? So our dynamic call scripts, the triage call, as well as the perfect presentation are here, as well as our post-contract script. Now we get into a little bit of information on the lead. Here's when the lead was created. Here's where the lead came from so that you can have an accurate tracking of different lead sources that you have. Any follow-up notes you have are here. They're going to be time-stamped, and it's going to have the person's name next to it of, who submitted this follow-up notes on what day and what time. Next is you're going to have your lead assignee and your nearest metro. So I can see that we're 5 miles outside of Fort Smith. Here's the property address that she wants to sell. And she also has a second property address, apparently, that she wants to sell. Next, we come down here. Here's our lead status, our communication status, and our pipeline status. So she's interested. Interested AS follow-up simply means that we have submitted an acquisition script. So we've pitched her, and she is interested in moving forward. She has been taken care of today, and we have submitted the acquisition script. Down here, you can have call history. By the way, prior to shooting this video, I came down and I selected show previous interactions. Again, I hate scrolling. So we're actually going to hide, I forget if it's 5 or 6, but we're going to hide all of these previous interactions and only show you the most recent 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Most recent 6. So it just mitigates scrolling, okay? If you want to see all of them, then you can click show previous interactions. Next is quick text. Our company has a lot of quick texts. Why? Well, because we have 4 people in here and they kind of say different things. They have their own idiosyncrasies or whatever. And so rather than having to type out all of these things, you just click on this and it's going to autofill. Hi, Barbara, it's Keith with Crown Properties calling about your property at 123 Main Street. Try to leave a voicemail, but apparently it's full or it's not been set up yet. Please give me a call back when you're available. So we have a lot of quick text messages. You can customize those and have them send out whatever you want. Here's our SMS history. Similar to the call history, just above those quick text messages, we have our show previous interactions. And so you can see like this lead came in at 18:13, so 6:13 p.m. They responded to that initial interaction, that first text message that went out. They responded, 25 seconds later. She says, call, here's the phone number. Quick question, are there any major repairs? If we come to an agreement, how soon are you looking to sell? She says, call me, have 2 houses for sale. So she was really responsive. I'm happy to see that. And within, 18, 20, so within 7 minutes, we had quite a bit of interaction. Let's see how long it took us. We called at 18:32. And the lead came in at 18:13. So within 19 minutes, basically, and really this is 55 after. So within 18 minutes, we were on the phone. Looks like we got her on the phone the very first ring. Oh my goodness, she's a talker. 46-minute triage call. That's longer than it should be. But hey, we had a great conversation. We found out that there's 2 properties. Next, we have our follow-up. So this is, if you want to just like a quick, a quick drop down. 1 day, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, or if you wanted to select a specific date. I'm not going to click on it because it's going to change from what it currently is. But Will, our acquisition manager, I see here, he selected that we should be following up with her August 14th, 2024. If we wanted to add her into a sequence manually, right now she's on the not interested sequence. If we wanted to do that, we're going to click here, select, oops, I don't actually want to change it. So I'm going to back out of this really quickly. All right, very good. So if I wanted to choose a follow-up sequence manually, you can. So with REI Automated, everything that can and should be automated is automated. However, everything can be manually overridden. And so this not interested sequence came up when Mr. Will selected that this person was not interested. They are actually interested. Here's the thing. You can see that he did this. Whenever a system does something, then you'll see like, hey, the system seller leads did this thing. Whenever I do something like showing the previous interactions prior to this call, we can actually see that Mr. Will is the one who
gets
changed
cleared
the
up, that'll
thing,
go
as
away.
well as put her on the follow-up sequence, not interested as complete. Now, if he had just submitted a perfect presentation and that perfect presentation result was interested, then she's automatically gonna go on the interested as complete. If he submitted the perfect presentation as not interested, then she's automatically gonna go on the not interested as complete. Hopefully that makes sense. Next up is going to be APN, tax map ID number. APM just stands for appraisal parcel number, as well as the property county. And then we have our evaluations that get pulled from PropStream, Redfin, Realtor.com, and Zillow. Each one of them is there. And then we have the average value is 119. Then we have all of the stuff that's attached to this. So as the lead works its way through the funnel, you can see that we submitted 2 seller lead sheets. We did 2 effectively kind of 2 triage calls here. Why did we do that? Well, it's because my team is trained. If there's 2 properties, then we're going to handle them each individually. We're not going to talk about both properties at the same time. We're just going to gather all the information on one, submit that, and then we're going to gather all the information on the other. There's an acquisition script. Oh, and then if you wanted to like read all of the information on these things, here's our seller lead sheet. And I told you this is what's going to like take you to other apps that are built into our CRM. I like how I said this is going to be 5 minutes and we're already 8.5 minutes into this. Here's general information. Here's condition, estimated repair cost. The condition of the home was terrible. Here's how quickly she wanted to get it sold. Here's information on the mortgage. The motivation was high. She's hoping to walk away with $95,000 and she said yes to creative financing. It was qualified and I approved it. And then on the perfect presentation, I can see that she's looking to sell it as quickly as possible. She wanted to sell it technically last month. Obviously, she's not very motivated though. She's done nothing to sell it and we're past the state. That's why I really said that. She's not that motivated because we're past the state. She's also done nothing to sell it, but she says that it's got to sell. How much is fair? She said $95,000. And then we tried to go into some now, some later, but we ended up, he said that it's interested. She's interested in moving forward and that we're going to follow up in August. Anyway, just wanted to share, like, you can click into these things and gather more information. It's all attached to the lead. Every single communication. So there's a lot of communications here, right? We have outgoing call, incoming calls. Anytime a text message goes in or out, here's some incoming text messages, here's some outgoing text messages. All of this stuff is logged and it's very specific. So we can see exactly like what was the day, what was the time, what phone number did it come from, what phone number did it go to, because we have a lot of phone numbers in my company, right? And so it's really helpful to gather all of that information. After the communication comes our incoming leads. This is coming from our incoming leads app. Then we have our acquisition KPIs, where we're able to see our speed to lead, where we're able to see was it approved, so on and so forth. So here is acquisition manager, deal analysis, SLS, and lead manager, speed to lead. That is, I believe, as brief of an overview as I can do it while going over everything. Yeah, I talked about all this stuff. Great. Last thing that I'll kind of cover is anytime you click and that click makes a change, that's going to be logged here in the activity. Quite literally, every single thing that happens is going to go down here in the activity. Every notification, every click, every change, every edit. So you can go back and kind of triage if something went wrong, why did it go wrong, who messed it up, that sort of thing. It's very, very helpful. You can put in comments as well if you'd like, and most of the time it's just filled with system comments. All right. If you have any questions, I'm sure I'll be taking questions here in a little bit. Hope you enjoy. This is the REI Automated CRM. Hey guys, wanted to shoot a brief
You're so
I
communicative.
double muted myself. I couldn't find the button. All right, let's talk about costs. So what is your tech bundle gonna run you? Your tech bundle, we're gonna pay for most of it. So call scripts, where that triage call and the perfect presentation, we pay for that hosting. Slide broadcast, that's how we send out the ringless voicemails. We pay for all of that to be sent. Podio, we pay for your account. Your drive storage, we will pay for your cloud. The one and only thing that you pay outside of REI Automated is for your phone numbers. That's gonna be about $50 through smartphone. So you'll end up paying $50 outside of what you're gonna pay to REI Automated. What can you expect to pay today? Well, in early 2019, when I got my hands on this, I originally paid $3,000 for a real estate investor specific Podio build out. Since then, we've clocked more than 12,000 hours in app development, and we have released more than 2,800 app updates in the last 5.5 years. So I say this to show we spent quite a bit of money buying the original setup, but then we have spent an extreme amount of time honing this in over the last several years. So what can you expect to pay today? You can expect to pay $14,800. Now I have a couple of disclaimers, and I'm all about communicating very effectively. So I want to set really proper expectations. A disclaimer that I have is that I have never done this before. You can probably see behind me, my background is in the Marine Corps. I do not have a master's from FIT, and I am not a coder. Over the last 2.5 years since we publicly launched our CRM with our scaling clients, we have a little bit less than 100 clients using our CRM. And prior to this, I have never developed a software. I have never sold a software, and I have never handled someone else having an issue with my software, because my software is awesome. It's my baby and I love it. All right. Full transparency. We're getting it all out there. So what does this mean? It means that we're going to have some expectations moving forward. What am I going to expect from you? I'm going to expect a really good attitude. I'm going to expect a lot of grace and understanding as we navigate a very steep learning curve. What can you expect from us? Well, you can expect a timely response to your questions. You can expect for us to work hard to solve your problems, for us to support you through the onboarding process, and for us to do the right thing. What do I mean by for us to do the right thing? Well, I would like to extend to you an early adopter discount. So I told you it's going to be $14,800. That's what I want to sell it for, but we're new to this, right? REI Automated has only been in existence for 2.5 years. Frankly, our processes, they're still being ironed out. There's probably still some bugs in the system. And so for the people that sign up from this live call and the one replay that we're going to send out, we are going to be offering this package at a discounted price in order to earn some grace as we figure this out. Okay. So we've dropped that setup fee from $14,800 to $9,800. And we're going to offer the CRM to you free of charge for the next 4 months. After that, it'll increase to $400 per month. Now, what is your tech bundle going to cost you? Well, $9,800 is your setup today, and that's going to include all the upfront costs of getting everything set up for you. Then your monthly smartphone subscription of around $50, not to REI Automated. We do not collect that. Your first 4 months with REI Automated is $0. And after your first 4 months to have the CRM, it's $400 per month. So a total of $450 after that. Now, for all the people who leave, they're going to be sorely mistaken, unfortunately, because there's some extra bonuses that I want to give you. The first is the REI Playbook, which is a course that I've built out that is truly the foundation for profiting in any market. You'll be admitted to our private Facebook group with all of our high-level earners. you'll have access to daily support calls, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Daily support calls with me and my business partner. We'll also help you by giving you access to PropStream Lite, as well as our ARV finder. ARV, after repair value. Drop me anywhere in the nation and I can give you an accurate ARV on any house within 5% in 5 minutes using our ARV finder. You'll also be getting our repair estimator. This thing has been through quite literally thousands of renovations and will give you an itemized estimate for your rehab. And lastly, you'll get access to our deal analyzer so you can accurately determine what is the best entrance strategy and what is the best exit strategy for this deal. Now, hopefully, that's enough to get you interested. But in case you're not over the edge yet, we'll also custom build you a branded landing page that is guaranteed to convert more motivated seller leads, as well as our due diligence checklist that we follow on every single deal in my own real estate investing company. Every single deal that we ever do, this is going to make sure that we ensure that we're not skipping any steps and we're not making any mistakes. We'll also give you our deal templates so that you have a step-by-step guide to buying houses for cash with owner financing, subject to their existing mortgage, a hybrid of both. It's going to be a step-by-step guide for you to wholesale, retail, wrap, rent, novate. I don't care. No matter what your deal structure is, we've got you covered. I will also give you our funding formula course, which is my blueprint to raising private money. In here, I teach you exactly how I've lined up more than 100 private money lenders with more than $10 million to fund 100% of my deals the last 8 years. Of course, we'll also be giving you that sexy looking advanced KPI tracker that you saw in some of those screenshots, along with the KPIs masterclass that goes with it. And lastly, but potentially most importantly, we'll be giving you access to your own personal one-on-one coach for the next 4 months. It's their job to educate you, to support you, to hold you accountable to closing more deals in less time. Hopefully you realize that this is so much more than just a CRM. Thanks for coming here thinking that, though. I hope that we under-promised and over-delivered. I would consider us a one-stop shop for everything you need, from lead generation to software to coaching to community, everything in between. Okay, we are on a mission to help real estate investors build and scale a profitable business by implementing systems, automation, and sound business principles. So if you're interested in getting the REI Automated CRM, the next step is to scan that QR code. That will take you to a scheduling page for you to book a free strategy session with one of our specialists. Now, this is important, so please listen up. There's 4 steps for you to do after you schedule your strategy session. Y'all with me? I need you to hear this. So if you're on your phone, look up. I can only see 4 people's faces. Step 1, once you book, go to your iCalendar or your Google Calendar, whichever you use, and accept the calendar invite. That's step 1. Step 2, set an alarm for your call. I don't want you to miss that call with our specialist, because if you do, it's a $5,000 mistake. And I say that genuinely because this QR code is a unique booking link. And if you miss your call, then our team member is going to give you a different booking link. And our team now knows to charge you the original $14,800. So set an alarm to go off 10 minutes prior to your call with us. That's number 2. Number 3, pick up the phone. As soon as you book with us, a team member is going to reach out. They're going to give you a call, get some information for you in preparation for that strategy session. This is going to save a lot of time on the strategy session, and it will give them time to prepare for it. So when they call you, pick up the phone, have a 10-minute chat with them, and give them the information that they need to prepare for you. And number 4, step 4, attend the call and sign up if it's a good fit. Here's all the 4 steps if you want to take a picture of that or write it down, whatever. Number 1, accept the calendar invite. Number 2, set an alarm 10 minutes prior to your call. Number 3, pick up the phone when we call. Number 4, attend the call. And I'll see you on the inside if it's a good fit. If you need the QR code, it's here. With that said, what questions do we have? Dang, 50 minutes. Nailed it. Good job.
Yeah, great. All right. Anybody have a question they want to ask or something that they wanted to see? We
Go
have.
ahead and turn your camera on, come off mute. Don't be shy. We'll
Yep.
answer questions.
One at a time. Of course.
First.
George, go ahead, sir.
How you doing, guys? How you doing, Keith?
Good, man. I'm doing excellent.
I
being here.
chatted with Nick the other day. And I
Yeah.
asked questions. He said, hop on here because I'm not familiar with Podio. I use Airtable currently. But my situation is I'm also a broker, right? And I run a property management company. So these exit strategies are a little bit broader when you're dealing with somebody with a license and knowing that, you know, there's a selection of people that just they're not a good fit for a cash offer, and I can service them with, you know, listing or, you know, buy to sells, those kinds of things. So my question was specifically around Podio, and if I buy into your system and I'm utilizing that, can I add on to it and create these other profit lines where I'm able to customize it to service other areas of my businesses, or am I kind of isolated specifically to what you guys design and build out?
Yeah, great question. I love that question. So Podio, are you very familiar with Podio?
Not at all. That's where I'm in the dark.
It's
So
do you know what a chassis of a car is?
yes.
Great. Podio is simply I'm gonna try not to talk web developer nonsense to you.
That's okay.
Podio is simply a chassis of a car. It is a blank slate. You can build whatever you want on it. So when we come in and do REI Automated, it's like, hey, we know where the doors go, we know the roof, we know the interior color, here's the leather, here's the stereo, blah, blah, blah. And we build that for you. Now, if you want to add on another vehicle to your fleet over here, put a bus behind you and a racetrack in front of you, absolutely. I would recommend don't touch our crap, because if you break it, it's on you. It's your asset. Okay. So once you have this, it's yours to change.
Yeah, that was kind of where my question was like asset ownership, right? So if I'm inside of there and you guys give me a Podio account, like, do you have the off button and I build out and build on, then all of a sudden, you know, God forbid REA Automated goes away, am I just left?
Well, and even if that were to be true, your stuff would still function because I don't have a button to your stuff. I don't have any connection to your stuff. It's in separate apps. It's all what's the right word? Compartmentalized.
Workspaces, yeah.
Yeah, there's different.
So you can build out your own.
Right. Different workspaces.
You can actually build out your own workspace for these other parts of your business within Podio, and our workspace for the acquisition side of the business. You can just leave it alone, and we'll just keep updating it, and you can use it for real estate investing side of your business.
Well, the two kind of marry. I think that was where I was struggling. Like, you know, if they're not like specifically inside of, you know,
you see all of those?
Yes.
These are all different workspaces, completely separate. People in this workspace can't go to people in this workspace unless we use them authorization.
Right.
So that was kind of where I was struggling, was because it would be, you know, it would be inside of your typical real estate investing, because a lot of the cash offer leads that I generate now, they end up they're just not a good fit. They don't have enough equity. They got other issues that, you know, they're just a value, and I can take it down another path, but I needed to stay inside of that same realm for the time being until they move off into the
dude. And you can make it so easy. We have integrations like this where, so for instance, gosh, it's been a long time. 2000 and it was either 2018 or 2019. We were doing a tremendous amount of cold calling. But we both know that cold calling, those people aren't leads, those are prospects. It's only when somebody raises their hand and says, yes, I am who I say I am, and yes, I have a house, and it's that house, and yes, I do want to sell it. Great, now they're a lead. And so we would say we created a button. So this is in its own cold calling workspace, its own workspace. There was a button that said push to acquisitions. They would click that, it would pull all the information, and it would submit a new lead inside my acquisition workspace.
Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I didn't understand, was how are the entities built out, and are they movable between the two? And, you know, then
and the great thing, you've probably heard about Salesforce, right? So Salesforce, dude, that thing looks dope. It is sexy AF. It looks so good. Podio does not look good. I'll be the first to admit it. It looks like it's built in 2006. Yeah. But it is super cheap, and it is very easy. And the developers, the coders for it is prevalent. That's why our competitors in the CRM world for real estate investors who built their stuff on Salesforce, even though they started half a decade before us, we're already past them. Why? Because the time that it takes, there's a term. It's the time that it takes from creation in your mind to creation in the physical realm, if you will. It just takes forever to develop that stuff. Whereas in Podio, dude, it's super simple.
Okay. All right, that helps. So I'll let somebody else go. Somebody else has something.
Cool. Yeah. Who else has a question?
Is there any part of the yeah, okay,
George
if
has
you've got
another
one more,
Hey,
George,
I'll
you're
go
welcome.
again if I have to. I heard you mention somewhere before, like I think it was in one of your videos about sort of project management inside of Asana. Are you still doing that? Is that still,
yeah.
is that something that comes with this? Is the idea and the concepts behind that and how that's built out? Was that
Yep.
is that part of what you were talking about?
I'm gonna sneak a plug in sometime, probably Q4 or so. Asana, we don't own Asana, right? It's just a suite software. We're building out our own, and it's gonna be within our existing REI Automated app.
Okay.
And so we're gonna have our own project management software within this. And if you choose to come on board with us and you're still with us when that comes out, you get all upgrades for free for life.
Got it. And then landing page wise, you said there's a landing page. Like I currently have ClickFunnels is where all my stuff is running through, but it's expensive. Right. I don't use it for hardly anything else except just to push traffic through and have a form filled out. So some of those entities will be replaced just by having a landing page, just like a WordPress page, or what is that?
Heck no, it's not a WordPress page. The reason why it's not a WordPress page is because number one, well, the biggest factor, honestly, is WordPress pages are very slow. And when you plug it into like a Google PageSpeed Insights, and your Google Trust score is going to be very, very low. It's typically going to be in the 40s or so. We don't want to be bidding, especially if you're going to run PPC. It's very important. The reason why is because if you have a PageSpeed Insights score of 46 and you put it up against one of ours typically run high 90s. So 95, 96, 98. We even have one that runs at 99. You can't compete with me. Meaning like you can bid like $80 for a click, and I will bid $9 for a click. But who goes on top? I do. I'm in first position and you're in second position. Why? It's because Google doesn't give a crap about your $71. They care that Yahoo and Bing and whatever else is out there doesn't become the primary search engine. How do they do that? They're playing the long game. They want to make sure that the information that gets placed in front of their clients, their customers, is fast and relevant. And if I have a lower bounce rate and a higher click-through rate and higher best business practices, higher SEO, a higher PageSpeed Insights score, it's faster to load, I'm gonna be above you every time.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm the one who's making those landing pages, and I keep adding new things. So
he's very good at what he does.
They get better and better.
So for full disclaimer, I took a very long time, about 3.5 months, to build out the landing page that I have, and it has a PageSpeed score of 91 pretty consistently. Ryan took maybe a month, plus or minus like 5 days. Took about a month, and his was running at a 99. Pissed me off. He's literally 3 times as good as I am.
Somebody else has got to have something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Srini. So let me start my videos. So can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I can see your textured ceiling there.
Oh, actually,
there we go. Now I
yeah.
see you. That's great.
So,
man. Srini, great to have you.
I think I missed the first few minutes of the call. So is this for the experienced real estate agents and brokers, or is this for someone who doesn't have any background in the real estate agency as well? Does it work for a beginner like me?
Well, let's be really clear. If you are an agent or a broker, this is not for you. It is for
Okay.
real estate investors specific. When it comes to your, like required or necessary experience, we have people who quite literally don't know the difference between a condo and an apartment and a townhouse. Like, I don't really care. You can be brand new. And we have
Okay.
people who have 6 or 7 people on their team, and they're making, multiple 6 figures in a month. So I won't speak to anybody larger than that because we haven't had anybody scale larger than 6 or 7 people on their team, theoretically, but I feel like I have a lot of value to provide them. But our clients right now are brand new, or, seriously, we have people who have been in real estate for, like, investing for longer than I've been on earth.
Okay. And my second question is, I think in the email, it also said 90 days and 150K. So what is that? I don't think you covered about that in this call. So
No, yeah, happy to though. So let me just be really clear. Are you a real estate investor, or are you an agent or a broker?
no, I'm just looking to be a real estate investor. So basically,
So you're very new.
yeah, very new.
Great. All right. So I want to be really clear about the difference between a contract and a deal. A contract, no, I don't have any. I just cleared my desk. It looks.
Yeah, actually, I was looking for that. Yeah, the contract, selling the contracts rather than selling the actual property.
Yeah. Well, I do want to be very forthcoming that we will guarantee you 5 contracts within 90 days worth $150,000 or your money back. Now, are all 5 of those contracts going to turn into deals? I don't have any say on whether they do or whether they don't. And the likelihood, just to be very candid, the likelihood of you getting paid within 90 days. Do you know how long a typical real estate transaction takes? Let's say it takes 3 weeks for us to, from the time the lead comes in, for us to acquire a purchase and sales agreement. And then from there, it takes 4 weeks for us to close on the house. And then let's say we do a very, 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 very fast light lipstick renovation for 1 week. And then we list the house, and it's going to sit on the market for 60 days. And then we go under contract, and it takes 45 to 60 days for us to get that house sold through FHA, conventional, VA, USDA financing. How long is that window?
Yeah,
greater than 90 days.
Yeah.
And so I just want to be clear that real estate's very slow. And if you're expecting to make $150,000 within 90 days, the only way that you can do that is through the Mexican drug cartel. And if they come to you, I would believe them.
Right.
But I would still run. Anybody who tells you that you can make 150K in 90 days is blowing smoke up your ass. We'll get you contracts that are worth that, whether or not you close or you're able to dispo them is on you.
Okay.
Yeah, and so if you were wholesaling it, you probably wouldn't get 150K, but 5 wholesaled contracts.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Average is 15. So 15 times 5 is terrible math. $75,000. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there a way you guys can send me that information on, how you source the contracts and how I'll be able to, turn around and sell those contracts?
Srini, I'm way too lazy to send you any information. However, I'm happy to answer the question right now. There's 3 modes of marketing, and we have done many videos on this. And if you want to go in a deep dive, then I will get you a link to a video. We've gone into a deep dive on all 3 of these. One of them is sweat marketing. So this is putting out bandit signs, for example. That's my favorite. Next is PPL, which stands for pay per lead. And lastly is PPC, which stands for pay per click. Sweat marketing, PPL, PPC. So regardless of what you do, we can help you run with it, because I've done literally have I broken $1 million? No, I don't think so, but certainly many hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing in all 3 of these arenas. With that said, I love PPC. So I'll give you just a quick example. We run an ad on Google, and we target the word burn, house, sell. And somebody types in the words, how to sell my house before I burn it down, Nashville, Tennessee. Bro, sign me up. I'll pay $100 for that. Get me that lead. I want to talk to this person. That's how leads come in. From there,
Okay.
we triage them. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it answers, but you know, like you said, probably I need to watch some of those videos that you said you have already explaining these 3 concepts. So maybe I need to review that to get a better idea on how, you know, you guys do
Have you
this.
talked to any one of our specialists on the team?
No.
Okay, I want you to, and then they will give you all. Do we have 3 or 4, Ryan? Do you know?
3 or 4 what?
Like marketing videos.
Yeah, we've got at least 3.
Okay, we have at least 3. I'd like you to reach out to one of our guys. I'm going to leave the ball in your court. Again, I'm very lazy. I want you to reach out to one of our guys if you need it. Let me.
Well, we've got George Owen here and Nick Horner.
Heck yeah, George
So,
and Nick are
you guys want
specialists.
to pop your video on and just say hi, and then
Or
they'll
just
know.
just
One
chat.
of you can reach out,
Srini, just
assuming you're paying attention.
just open up your chat, Srini, and get George or Nick's phone number. They'd be happy to send you those videos.
Okay.
Get a little bit more information on marketing.
That's George Owen in the call. Cool. Yeah. How about you know, I don't know. Did you mention the automated purchase sales agreement?
I
Keith?
did. It was very
Did you?
brief. It was just in my bullet points.
Nice. That's a nice little feature. Can you explain?
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't really highlight on that because it's pretty.
Well, let me
the
just
benefit is real. So
let me just ask a question. Does anybody currently buy houses over the phone? Let me tell you how it typically works. You call, you come to an agreement, you get off the call, you draft the agreement, you send the agreement, and then you attempt to call back. Now, why do I say you attempt to call back? Because they ain't picking up. So this just frustrated the heck out of me one year. And I said, I need a solution for me to be able to send the purchase and sales agreement rapidly fast. So fast that it's not like let me place you on a brief hold. Bull crap, it's done. Like it needs to be filled out right then and there. I'm going to send it to them on the phone. And so that's what we've done. Everything is 100% automated except for 2 things. And those are the 2 things that you don't know about when you get to the call. When are you going to close? What is the date that you are going to close? And how much are you going to buy the house for? Why do you not know these 2 things? Because that's what you're negotiating on this call. Everything else is known constants. These are the only 2 unknown variables. When you're on the call, you're going to come to agreements on price and terms, as well as a closing date. You're going to put those things in and you're going to click a button. It's going to log into DocuSign for you. By the way, you get DocuSign through us. We pay for it, by the way. It's going to log into DocuSign for you, autofill all of that stuff, and it's going to send it to the seller. Why does this matter? Because you don't have to call them again. Right then and there, while you're on the phone, you can answer their questions. You can overcome their objections, and you can walk them through paragraph by paragraph, explaining everything in layman's terms and get them to sign the contract on the phone. When I did this, by the way, my contracts went up 55%. The amount of properties that we put under contract went up 55%. What does that do to my cost per contract? Shoots it way down. Put the same amount of marketing in the marketing machine, we got 55% more contracts.
I'm very happy to hear that. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, I think that's very helpful, right? Cool.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, man.
we're always trying to improve on what we have, and like a lot of it's about reducing the amount of effort or time that you need to invest or team members need to invest in order to make it work. And in some case, and then on the other side is to increase your chances of profit. You know, getting contracts, getting good deals, and all of that. So I think we've done quite a good job with that, and there's more to do. But yeah,
Yeah.
We're very pleased with the results that Keith's gotten in his real estate investing business and a number of our clients as well. So any other questions or things that you guys are interested in before we wrap this up? Take maybe one last question if anyone has one.
Kyoko. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm like 2 months into your program and I'm loving it so far.
Good. Thank you.
If I want to sign up on this one, is that going to be an additional investment?
Yes. Later today, we're going to send out. So I did 2 of these videos. The first video I did at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our clients. The prices are very different for existing clients. I promised you when you signed up that we'll take good care of you. It's extremely different. And so just know that we'll be, I'll let the team know to send you a recording of the call. I promise you will be very pleasantly surprised with it when you get there.
Might have sent me a link. Let me see.
Yeah. So, and then, so that one was for clients launching the CRM for professional users, which you are. And then we have this one for people who are not clients.
Good to know.
Yeah. You're like, frick, I want all this stuff, but that's really expensive. I already gave these people my money. I promise we'll do right by you.
Thanks for asking that question. Thank you, Kyoko. Yeah. Yes. It will not be that much for you. You've already invested quite a bit. Well, we appreciate that. So thank you very much. So Eric asked, what was the main difference from the 58% to 100% triage call rate within 1 year? I believe that was just
speed to lead, big checks, crazy ex-girlfriend.
Okay, so those are the main 3 things.
That one at that time, the biggest factor at that time was big checks. I really didn't get into speed to lead really until 2022 when we started monitoring it. And at that point, believe it or not, speed to lead actually has a bigger impact, because here's the thing. What's crazy ex-girlfriend and what is big checks? That's just merely follow-up, right? I'm here to tell you, if you get to leads quickly, what's the opposite of necessitates? It negates, I was going to say irrelevates. We're just making stuff up at this point. It completely negates the need for follow-up. If you get to your leads quickly, you don't have to follow up, dude. And so at the time I was like, oh, fortune is in the follow-up. You have to have 17 touches. Like all of this was being preached to me, but I couldn't get to leads quickly because at the time I was active duty. You cannot just like drop whatever. I wasn't even allowed to have my phone on me half the time. And so speed to lead, I couldn't. I had to focus on big checks. But once I got out, I realized, holy smokes, big checks actually has a bigger pull than big checks ever will.
The speed to lead does, yeah. Yeah, so speed to lead is very, very helpful in getting connected with leads. One of the largest factors is how fast you connect. I think we went over all that though, and you're welcome to watch the replay. And actually, Keith, we have a KPIs masterclass video in the REI Playbook Lite, where Keith goes more in depth on some of this stuff. So if you want to hear more about how different KPIs can be tracked and improved, that's a good one to watch. And
that's free in the Facebook group.
Yeah, I'm going to update it soon, and we're going to include our basic KPI tracker, which includes all the KPIs that we track for real estate investors, and that can help you track your KPIs and then give you some ideas about how to improve yourself, whether you have a CRM or not. And then if you do have our CRM, we actually automate the tracking, and there's a bunch of things built into it that help you not just track, but also improve your KPIs. So I think that's everything for today. Thank you for everyone who's joined us. Thank you for all your questions. You may have additional questions, and you feel free to ask those either via email or in the REI Secrets Facebook group. And we'll be posting the replay link in the group, as well as sharing a link via email. So everyone who, if you weren't able to make it here on time, or if you missed this, then we want to be able to provide that to you. Okay, is that
Cool.
it, Keith?
That's it. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate your time and attention as always. Have a wonderful night.
All right. See you
Talk
next
to you
week,
later.
hopefully, for our next week's live. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.